we're long overdue. And this is probably going to be one of the more fierce recessions than any previous because of the amount of debt that we have. So the housing market won't crash like 2008 because of all the regulations that have been put in place, but there will be a recession for sure. So people still lose jobs. You know, there's a lot of things that happen during recession. So right now, if you can get liquid through wholesaling, you'll be able to take advantage of buying properties. Like one of Warren Buffett's quotes, I really like it because it's going to pertain to the next 18 months. When people are greedy, be fearful. When people are fearful, be greedy. So as you can tell, the economy is cooling. People need money everywhere, and that's a good sign that a recession's coming. And so also the election's coming. Anytime the election comes, the market gets stagnant, and, you know, that's just the nature of the beast. So there will be a recession in the next 18 months. And it's already kind of starting to happen if you can't tell.
Yeah, yeah. And recessions are not a bad thing. You know, it depends on what side of the coin you're on or who you are or where you're at. Recession is actually a good thing in most businesses because when prices drop, now is the time to buy. And real estate can be recession-proof depending if you know what you're doing. So wholesaling makes real estate recession-proof. You know, because if you're able to acquire these properties, because without a doubt, people are always going to need a place to stay. Hands down. Even in a recession, you're going to need a place. You're going to need a roof over your head. So rental rates go up. Investors who have money, who during the fat years, who saved up their money, invested it wisely, they're going to be buying up plenty of real estate. And if you have a great buyers list that you can tap into, you can wholesale these deals and still make money during the recession. So when the economy bounces back, you directly in line to even kill it even more. So, look, I love a recession. Look, I love it. I look forward
to it. Definitely, man. So, like I said, we're going to give you guys, we just want to get into a, brief explanation on why now is a good time and why you should be prepared going forward. So we're going to go ahead, and we don't want to waste your time. We're going to go ahead and jump into it really quick. So we're going to start in Orlando. Because I saw a couple of houses. I like Orlando. Orlando's like the number one city right now to invest in. Right outside of Vegas. But Orlando is hot right now because of the economic growth, job growth. It's just a really hot market right now. So if you would go to Zillow.com, you would go to sell or buy, whichever one, and you would go to the filter. So I've kind of saved my filters a certain way because I always use it to find properties. So you go to potential listings, but uncheck any of these that are checked because you want to filter out the list. So go to for sale and check it, uncheck for rent, and go to potential listings. And you would uncheck foreclosure because you don't want those. You want pre-foreclosure or make me move. These people will be motivated and they will be ready to, move the house as soon as possible. So you want to make sure that this is your filter when you're on Zillow. So you click done, and you see there's 682 properties right now that are in pre-foreclosure. So pre-foreclosure is pretty much saying they're going to lose their house in the next however many months, days, or, weeks. So the reason on why they're losing their house sometimes can be important. But the most thing you want to do is look and see if it's a good deal, if the equity is there. And then once you have a conversation with them, you'll know what the reason is, what their motivation is, once you see why they're going into pre-foreclosure. So the reason, like I said, the reason why they're going into pre-foreclosure doesn't really matter, but it's a good thing to gauge because you'll know what their motivation level is.
Yeah.
So I looked at these the other day. I saved some homes that I looked at in Orlando, and I was like, oh, I need to reach out to them like yesterday. So here's one that I looked at in Orlando. It's been on there for a while. So this guy will be super motivated. 4,700 days on Zillow. But if you see here, he only owes $11,000. It's his unpaid balance. So this person is about to lose his home for $11,000. That's been changed. So you would have a house potentially for $11,000 under contract that you can flip to an investor.
Yes.
So let's see what it sold for. Home is in default. Let me see when they bought the house, because they have a good indication on how much equity may be in the house.
Yep. And keep in mind, Florida is a judicial state, so the difference between judicial and non-judicial is judicial, they actually get the title. They get the title to their house, and non-judicial, they get a security deed. So in non-judicial state, they don't really have to sue you to take back their house. In Florida, they have to, in some situations, predominantly in most of Florida, they have to sue you. So a lot of people, it takes a longer time to foreclose on the property, especially in hard economic times. Like now, things have been moving pretty quickly. They may not be as backed up. So, you can actually talk to these people. They know that the bank is going to foreclose on their home, and you actually can get it for that real amount that Andre is showing for that $11,000.
So technically, you would be able to, and we've done this before, we've taken over a home. The home was purchased in 2006 for $300,000. That was, a good amount of time ago. So I would think they paid down the mortgage to somewhere in the $100,000 range. So that would leave a good amount of equity. But in this particular case with this house, we would go after this house because we would just pay off the $11,000 in arrears. We would catch up their mortgage payment in exchange for them signing over the deed. Because the thing about it, the reason why they would do that is because they don't want a foreclosure on their record. Because if they get a foreclosure, they won't be able to buy another house for 7 years. So we would go in and say, hey, how about this? How about we catch up your payments in exchange? We'll in turn pay off your house so you don't have to worry about it anymore. And we will, pretty much help you rebuild your credit. So in that time frame, we paid this off for $11,000. We're making the monthly payments on it. We'd either get a renter in it, or we will put it back on the market, depending on what the inside of the house looks like, and sell it for the difference of what the mortgage is and what the current value is, which looks like based on the estimate, $286,000. So they bought it for $300,000 back in 2006. The mortgage payment is around, I would say, let's see,
say $200,000
a month. Yeah. So $1,400 a month, what they might be paying in mortgage. So you just do the math on that, and that'll give you the difference between what's available for equity and what you can get the house, what the house will sell for. But in this particular case, we would take over this house for $11,000 and own the house and sell it for whatever amount of profit and come out. That was one that I saw. This is the other one that I saw that I felt like it was a good deal too. 2,000 days on Zillow. Home is in default. Let's see the loan issued for the mortgage. Another one that's $243,000. So that one probably also, $167,000. So they have to have, and this is, 5 years ago? So look at the equity in that house. It has to be in the $60,000 range, more than likely. It's based on the amount of money they paid for it. 148, yeah. Look at that, 148, 600 value, yeah. So this would be another house that we would more than likely target because we know we would be able to. It has a lot of equity in it. Yeah. So this is a couple homes in Orlando. What else did I see in Orlando that I thought made sense? $241 home in default. Another one. So that's another one that I would probably target because it's probably down there somewhere in the 220 range. So let me see if I can find another home with some good equity in it. Little Rock. Another one that was on the market for a while. And this is a clear. So this house is right now, it looks like it's trying to be listed for $80,000. And the Zillow shows that it's worth $158,000. Again, this is another home that I would target because look at the amount of equity that's in that home. So the unpaid balance, I'm assuming it's $80,000 and what the bank wants for it, and it was going to auction back in 2018. So for some reason, they may have stopped the foreclosure, but the home is still in default. So they still owe, the $80,000, and that's another good deal to come in and swoop up on. You know what I mean? So we're showing you a bunch of houses that any investor would take. So, 80, do the math, 158 minus 80 gives you the equity that's available for you to flip this home to an investor. So for this house, you can easily tack on $10,000 to this or 15 and say, hey, I got a home that's worth $158,000 and I got it under contract for $95,000. So you would get $15,000 and this person would get the $80,000. So again, you just made $15,000 for just getting this home under contract and flipping it to someone like myself.
Super easy. And the great way you can start this is a great way you can start building relationships with a realtor if you don't have one, and he can verify these numbers for you. And a realtor like myself, I would love if you call me and say, hey, I'm an active wholesaler. I got investors. They're looking for flips. What can you run some comps on this property for me? Can you verify that these numbers are correct? Oh, yeah, I would definitely do it. So
look at this house. Look at this house in Little Rock, Arkansas. And Little Rock is also a really high market right now because of the growth that's going on in the city. Look at this house. $188,000 is probably what the agent listed at because he wanted to pay off the mortgage. This is a $368,000 house going for $188,000. If you got this house in the contract, you can easily tack on $60,000 or $70,000 as a wholesale fee, and the investor's not going to get mad. Let's just do the math on this. That's insane. So this is the house that I saved because I'm going to reach out to the homeowner. So 368 minus 188. $180,000 worth of equity in this house. And you can tell it's a good house. Looking at the aerial view, 3,200 square feet. 180. So if you took out $80,000 as a wholesale fee, the investor would still make $100,000. How many of you guys can use $80,000 right now in a matter of 30 days? That's easy. That's how easy it is. It's not rocket science. It's just doing exactly what I'm doing right now. So, oh man, I want to hang up the phone and call these people right now. So again, I'm gonna go back in and show you guys some scratch. For real. That's the thing. Don't steal my house. No, I'm joking. If you guys get it, you guys get it. So in Little Rock right now, there's 207 homes right now that are going in pre-foreclosure. And you guys can just go here and do what I did. Again, go to potential listings, change it out, change the filter out. That's all you got to do. Boom, there you go. Uncheck this, hit done. There it is. So you just look at them. Just click on the home. Bedroom, 3 bath, 328. What we got going on here? Okay, so they're you can tell they're over. So they might have did a HELOC or did a cash out refinance that put them over. So if the estimate is showing 238 and the loan is 328, yeah, they're over leveraged big time.
Big time. Short sale.
Run away from that. In this particular case, when you get more savvy, don't run from it. Do that deal. Here's another one, $55,000 that this person owes. It's $108,000. Let's see if we can see what the past due is. Unpaid balance. Okay, you can't see that. But once you start targeting these people with a home that's been on Zillow for 3,400 days, they'd be willing to give you any information that you want. So the bank clearly just wants $55,000, which is probably what's left on the mortgage. They're not even trying to get the whole 108. They just want the remaining balance. So that kind of gives you an idea of how much the bank is looking for, or what the mortgage is in this particular case. I'm trying to find one that shows what the default amount is. We can see exactly where and how much they owe, but it's not showing me like some states do. So for some reason, it's just not coming up. But public records, you can easily go pull this information.
Yep.
Yeah, all this stuff is public information. In Augusta, it's in the newspaper. So it might be in the newspaper in Little Rock. I've never purchased properties in Little Rock, so I have no idea. But most states are the same. Let's see what we got here. $19,000 for a house.
$19,000.
$19,000.
How much is it worth?
It doesn't show, but you could always run comps. Oh, here we go. Right around 100. Look at that. $19,000. You can buy a $100,000 house. We might have to target Little Rock, man.
Yeah, I think so.
What else we got here? But I'm just saying, we don't got to spend 1,000 hours going through these homes to show you guys, like, this is a pretty house. This is a nice house for $31,000. Let's see how much it's worth. And it's worth around $150, $141. Come on, man. Like, this is a layup. This is a layup for anybody who wants to make money in Arkansas or out of Arkansas. Learn how to invest out of state. We don't want to touch on that, but, like, we're trying to make you guys see that it's really easy for you to get into real estate. It doesn't matter where you are. Any market you can do this in.
Any market.
I particularly like Orlando just because I spend a lot of time there. In Little Rock, I just haven't been back there in a while, so I don't really have a network like I have in other parts of the U.S. But any of you guys, again, can do this and go to these networks, networking events, and do the same thing that we're doing. Again, if you find a house, feel free to hit us up, and we'll be glad to buy it. But this is just a quick rundown of how you can make $3 to $20 to $60 to $80,000 just by getting some of these homes under contract. So a lot of these people are losing their homes for whatever reason, but it's an opportunity for you to don't look at it as you're taking advantage of someone losing their home. Like without you, this person will go into foreclosure for 7 years, and they would have maybe a judgment against them for the difference of what they didn't get, what the bank didn't get from the mortgage of the sale of the house. So if they owed $148,000 and the bank only got $48,000 for the house, they're going to have a judgment of $100,000 on their file. So we're pretty much helping this person out. So it's a win-win for everybody. You will make money as a wholesaler, the investor will make money as an investor, and the homeowner will make. If you want to give them some money, we're giving people money to move out sometimes because we understand their situation. But in the end, we're still helping them out from having a foreclosure on their record for 7 years and not being able to purchase a home. So,
yes.
Man, I don't know how to – at the end of the day, you need to invest in yourself. So in the homes that we're showing you guys are really pretty houses. Like, they really don't need that much work. It may need – look at this house. This person wants to, make moves. So these are nice houses that we're showing you guys. So it's not like we're showing you some rundown houses that no one's going to want to buy. People are going to buy these homes. This house, who's not going to want to buy this house? Any investor's like, oh, man, I can just go in and look at this house. I can go in and put nothing in the house. Nothing in the house. This is ridiculous.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is gorgeous.
That's a gorgeous house. For $250, it's worth $270. You can make $20,000. Here's another house. So again, these are just there's so many options for you guys to make money in a short amount of time. But the key is you got to invest in yourself. Me and Mel, we came from similar paths. Like, anybody listening to this phone call, like we didn't come from a rich family because we all worked at Sprint together, working that graveyard shift. So it's just about you investing in yourself. And if you don't want to spend the 10 hours a week to change your life, no one's going to give it to you. It's just not going to fall in your lap like that. You might as well, go and play the lottery. But me and Mel did this when we had full-time jobs. I would be at my desk going through here, copying in these addresses and putting them in like a spreadsheet. And we were doing mailers, sending out mailers to people. We just going in and copying it. You know what I mean? So it's just up to you then what you want to invest in and how you want to change your life and stuff like that. But we didn't do anything different than any of you guys can go out here and do. We just took the time and invested in ourselves, and we got mentors. Yeah, I think we spent $5,000 to get a mentor to learn how to do this and so many other facets of real estate. So if you don't want to spend $1,000, and there's even less programs out there. We even offer a cheap program. But if you don't want to use us, you can easily go online and Google real estate guru. But there's so many programs that you need to get out there and, like, look at personal trainers. Like, people have personal trainers and coaches for a reason. You need someone to keep you accountable. So, if you really want it, we're giving you the tool right now that you can see that you can do 100 leads in less than 10 hours and reach out to these people and send letters and like, hey, there's different things you can look up online. And again, there's many programs that you can go through that we have templates that we give to our students that they can use to do mailers to get these people to call them back. So there's a whole strategy behind it, but we're giving you the basics. Just write a letter saying, hey, I want to buy your house, put it in the envelope, send it out. You'll get a call back if they're really motivated. It doesn't even have to be an elaborate letter. You know what I mean? But go ahead, Mel. You can say some stuff if you want to pop in.
No, you're doing good. I mean, that's exactly, you're spot on about everything. I mean, that's really a quick way to, make some money. I mean, it's easy if you put the time into it. A lot of people you see these podcasts, you see, people doing it on YouTube, on TV, but it's all about putting the time in. And it's just like anything. I've been in sales for 15 years, over 15 years. And I know that it's all a numbers game. So you see the beautiful houses, you see people in distressed situations, but it's all about getting into it and just doing it. Don't overthink the process. Once you find a deal leads you to an offer, and the offer leads you to a close. So, and we'll help you negotiate. I mean, if you find a deal, jump on InvestFar, reach out to Andre. If you got my information, I can, send it to you. Call us. We'll help you walk you through the process.
But, again, I just want to stress the importance of, if you don't have the money to go out there and start flipping, just invest the time, the equity, the sweat equity that you would get in for, again, doing this. And the thing that kind of got us in the beginning, because we hopped out the gate and we just hopped on Zillow and started finding properties and targeting people. We had about 10 houses under contract, but we didn't have any investors to buy them. We ended up getting, losing 10 or 15 deals because we hopped in front of the game just trying to just create activity. It's all about activity. So we hopped out early on after we got done with our program. And we called people after the program ended. We in the lobby calling people, trying to get them on the phone to call back and to come back and close deals. So we had deals on the contract, but we didn't have anybody to buy the properties from us. So we lost a couple of deals, and eventually we figured it out. So you guys, in this particular case, you don't have that problem because, again, if the numbers are there, easily reach out to me, Facebook, text, call me, and we'll buy the deal if it makes sense. So you don't even have to run around trying to find an investor because you kind of have one. And so, on InvestFar.com or you download the app, we got a ton of investors all over the U.S. even the world who are looking to buy properties that have equity, kind of like what we're showing you guys. So again, if you send it over to me, if I don't want to buy it, I can easily sell it to another investor who have interest in it. So the hard part for you guys is really, really dedicating the time and the focused time to be able to do it. And so a lot of people are like, well, I don't have time. I don't have time. I told Mel this a couple of times. There's 24 hours in a day, 8 hours of work, 8 hours of sleep. If you really need that amount of sleep, 8 hours of sleep, that's 16. That leaves another 8 hours. 4 hours for you to spend time with your family, cook, clean, eat, do whatever you got to do. That's 4 hours. That leaves you with 4 more hours. If you got a 2-hour commute or you got an hour commute, say you got 2-hour commute. Okay, now you got 2 hours left. So now you got 2 hours left. What are you doing with that time? Are you on social media? Are you scrolling through Facebook? What are you doing? Are you paying attention to what other people are doing? Or are you focused on what you can do to make your life better and to get out of your own situation? So you got 2 hours left out of having 8 hours a day for sleep, 4 hours to kick it, even though you don't need this stuff every single day, but you will still have 10 hours in a week if you decided to do all of the above that I just mentioned. So people that say they don't have time, they have the time. They just don't want to, focus on making their situation any better, but they want to complain about why their life it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Your life is what it is because you're not dedicated to making it any different. So, I just feel like you just got to invest the time in yourself. And it's not about the money, as you can tell.
Yep. It's not about the money. It's all about the dream.
And we kind of low key living that right now. It was a hard grind. It wasn't easy by far, but you can kind of see some of the deals me and Mel have done. I posted them on Facebook last week, and that's just 2 deals. You know what I mean? I got a deal in Vegas right now that I'm a net $150,000 off of, and I'll post that maybe. I posted pictures of it a couple months ago, but again, like you just got to put it in the time. And we continuously do this. We do this all the time. Like we don't stop. So I just felt like I wanted to share something with you guys because of what I posted and people hit me up. I wanted to get back. If you want to go in further detail and know more about real estate as a whole, we got mentors. We do this. We have a platform that we teach people how to do this. We do joint ventures with them. We do deals with people all the time. So if you want to go past wholesaling, go to our website, residualroads.com, and we do this for a lot of people. Super inexpensive. It's cheaper than anything you'll find out there. But if you don't use us, just Google it. Find anybody. You know what I mean? Just get a mentor or get a coach or get someone that can help you out. Because it takes a lot of time to sit on the phone and break this kind of stuff down to people because we do it all the time. So if you think that you're going to be able to go out here and do this on your own, you probably can, but your learning curve is going to be so much longer than what it could be versus you just investing a couple, maybe $1,000 or a couple $100.
Don't do it on your own.
1,000% do not do it on your own. But some of you guys are going to do it on your own because our mentors did the same thing. We did it on our own.
Don't do it on your own. Everybody needs
it. So go ahead.
Everybody needs a coach.
Everybody.
You heard the old same thing over and over and over again. Most professionals have coaches. Steph Curry has a coach. Kobe Bryant had a coach. Everybody needs a coach because you want to look at mastery. That's what you really want. I mean, you don't want, if you're going to be in it, you want to master it. And real estate is such a wealth building vehicle. You don't want to halfway do it,
But like you're saying right now, look at Kobe Bryant. Look at Michael Jordan. These are great, great, great athletes. Top of the game. They all had coaches. They all had coaches until they left. Well, like, what does that tell you? So it doesn't matter how great you are, how good you think you are. You're going to need a coach or a mentor. That's just how it goes. And so the average millionaire has at least 3 to 5 coaches for different things. One might be for professional development. One might be for what they specialize in. And one might be for fitness, whatever the case is. But they all have at least 3 to 5 coaches. That's a fact. You can probably Google that. They all have coaches. Everyone, you need a coach just for someone to keep you accountable. But just because you don't know everything. And so we have coaches. We reach out to people when we get stuck. So it just makes sense to have a coach. Again, we're not pushing you to do it by far, but we would suggest it because we've been doing it and we know how useful a coach is. So whether it be us or whether it be someone else, just find one that you feel comfortable with and pick their brain and spend that money to talk to them and be able to, because you can get stuck on a deal and you're going to lose it. It would be much better to be able to just say, hey, I'm in this situation. How many deals did we submit to our mentor? We would submit deals all the time in the beginning. Like, hey, man, we're right here. He would just email us back like, hey, just do this right here. Boom, deal closed. So it'll save you time and you can make a lot of money just by spending the $1,000 because you're going to make that back off the first deal anyway. Just spend the money.
We didn't know. We wasted so much time and energy. We didn't know. So by having that mentor there, it gave us a confidence booster. It gave me a confidence booster because I felt like now I got somebody in my back that I can actually make sure that I'm doing it right. You know, because I know real estate is some of these are some of the biggest purchases people can make in their life. It's also going to be the biggest mistake. So by helping people out in distress situations, you actually are helping people. So I didn't want to. And then, you know, if you're coming from a small town, you only got so many chances to start building credibility. So you want to get on the fast track, you know. So, yeah.
Man. So we showed you guys, again, the quickest and easiest way to do it. We paid thousands for this. You guys got it for free, again, because we're looking out. I told you each one teach one. So we just want to, you know, help you guys. This is a lot. Like, I answered this question for a couple people, and it just made sense for me to not send messages and keep messaging people back and just do a video, man. So if you guys found this video helpful, please use it. If you got any questions, feel free to hit me up via Facebook. Many of you guys have my phone number. Text me, call me, whatever the case is. And again, you know, go to residualroads.com and get a mentor. You know, sign up. It's super cheap. Take a look at our website, see what we have to offer. If not, Google real estate investment clubs, Google, you know, different things like that. Just get a mentor, find someone that you're comfortable with. And hopefully you guys will be doing this kind of stuff with some of your friends or some of the people that you rock with. So hopefully you guys found this video helpful. If so, share with somebody and save it so you can reflect back on it whenever you need to. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
and don't get discouraged, guys. I mean, it's a hard road. I'm not gonna lie to make it seem like it's going to be easy. It's going to be tough, but we're going to be tough on you. I mean, if you really want us to help you, we're not going to let up. And
no, I'm not. Yeah, definitely not sugarcoating because I just know how much work you have to put in, and so you can't be lazy. This is something that you got to really dedicate to. So if you know, slow poking around or I only got 6 hours this week, you're gonna not see the results that you're looking for, and we don't want that to happen. So we're gonna push you to get you to that next level because the thing about it is once you get that first deal, this will be the only thing you ever want to do. Once me and Mel got that first deal of that $3,000, just for getting the house on the contract, we've been hooked ever since. And so we went from $3,000 to you see deals $45,000, $100,000. Like we just kept going. You know what I mean? So it's just like we went from wholesaling to doing subject twos to doing short sales to doing fix and flips. You know, now we're going to get into commercial, buying apartments. So there's baby steps to it, and wholesaling is the one that you guys start out with to make the quickest amount of money for the least amount of cost.
Yep.
But thank you guys for your time. Hope you found the video useful. If so, share it. If not, hit me up. Mel, anything you want to say?
No, you guys have a good night. See you on the next podcast.
Sure.